Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Well, this has been a 5-week series and we've finally hit number 5. Bless Mark's heart and all the work he's put into it. But this has been a great series. We started off with the history of the Peninsula Special Utilities District. Actually, it was the Water Corporation with 900 and some taps, I think, and we're over 6,000 now. But it has also been a great way to see what's having to be done because of the growth down here on Bolivar Peninsula. We've got the new water tower last year, which didn't cost end users a dime because it was done on a grant. And now the new projected developments and businesses that are coming in are actually going to help pay their part through other fees. And so what we're going to do today is we're going through part 5, and this is more or less a wrap up on the expenses and stuff, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So let's listen in to Mark, and then we'll give you a rehash at the end about what we did on past shows too, so you can go back and watch them. The floor is yours.
All right, David. So thanks again, Mark DeSantis with the Bolivar Peninsula Special Utility District. Been on the board since last February, so coming up on a year for me, over a year. But privileged to be able to be here and represent the entire Special Utility District, all the board members and the staff. Just to let you know, we want to get out there and communicate with all of you and let you know what's going on, and let you know the challenges that we face and what the future brings for us. So hopefully you found this information on these 5-part series out there helpful. And again, as new things come up, we'll definitely make sure that we use this as a communication tool to get that out to you. So planning for the future. So we talked about the capital improvement plan. We completed it as of the final completion of it was December. And again, the LJ engineers projected their expected growth for the peninsula for the next 10 years and what infrastructure would need to be accommodate that growth. The growth percentage was based on established growth estimates from the Texas Water Development Board and developments for which the district we've already received. A lot of new projects coming on board in the peninsula. So in planning for the future, the first thing is we do have some procedures put in place. You know, we talked about some of the overcapacity streets with water lines. Well, going forward, we won't have that problem anymore because, first of all, any street built after 2000, the district had a standardized procedure for reviewing and approving all new developments to ensure that the plans and construction meet all the applicable requirements, including water line capacity. So developments after 2000 should not have any issue meeting the requirements for the lots that it was sized for. The other thing is since July of 2022, every single meter application we had to begin looking at to confirm capacity is available by looking at the existing meters that are already in service for that subject road. And that's how we ended up that, a number of these roads are at full capacity and we can't add any more. The other thing too that's been changed is Galveston County now requires a capacity letter from the district before accepting a replat. So where we talked about, for example, Atkinson, where they took and increased it, almost doubled the number of lots on a street, that can't happen anymore unless they show that the water lines are sufficient to be able to support that new growth. So in that plan for the capital improvement plan, the first thing we saw is that we immediately needed to upgrade pumps at the Port Bolivar plant immediately to comply with TCEQ requirements for pumping capacity. So that was addressed and ordered immediately. We did identify that there are 29 roads or more on the peninsula with water lines that are either at or almost over capacity because they're at 2.5 inch lines. All of these lines are projected now that we will be upgrading to a 4-inch line or larger. And then also, lastly, we found that we need to actually increase the water supply contract, which means that we'll be paying more for water treatment plant to be expanded. So if you look at the growth that LGA engineers used, the natural growth rate of 1.69 for Bolivar Peninsula established by the Texas Water Development Board. Then we added the meters for where we've already received applications from developers. And if you take a look, this is broken down. We have 4 pressure planes. And you can see currently, like in High Island, we have 318 current meters. Projected by, in the next 10 years, that will grow by 1.69 or 58 additional meters. And as you can see, the greatest growth is in pressure plane 4, where currently we have 2,581 meters, and they expect another 1,380 meters being added. So a 4.37% growth.
And Gilchrist is growing too. I see that 5.81. So
yeah.
I mean, the whole peninsula is really growing.
Yes, the whole peninsula is growing, and a number of these individual ones, like Gilchrist and the Port Bolivar growth, was as a result of developers that have already submitted future plans.
Mm-hmm.
So what are impact fees? Let's talk about that again. Impact fees are charged on new development to help fund and pay for the construction needed for the expansion of off-site capital improvements. These fees are usually implemented to help reduce the economic burden on the local jurisdiction, so us, the SUD, that are trying to deal with the population growth in an area. So we did pass, as of March 23rd, an impact fee of $2,750 for a residential meter. We did approve a multiplier, and that information will be published on the website, but depending on the size of the meter, your impact fee will go up, whether you're asking for a 2 or 4. So that covers the larger developments that need a 6-inch or an 8-inch line will pay more for that.
And this is for new construction. I just wanted to let everyone know about that if you're buying a home down here, this isn't for you. This is new construction that doesn't have a meter. So they're going to tap the line and actually put a new meter in.
Exactly. And again, when you pull up that capital improvement plan, and the LGA capital improvement plan is on the Bolivar Peninsula Supply Utility District's website, you'll see when they did the calculations for an impact fee, they said, okay, it's a cost of $15 million. You have 2,700 connections. It's a $5,500 impact fee. And you'll see we're actually charging $2,750. That's because state legislation did pass a law that says you can only collect 50% of that future growth in an impact fee. Okay. And what we're really trying to do is anyone that's putting additional stress on the system, bringing in, whether it be new RV parks or the restaurant, the zoo, or new home developments, that they're paying their fair share for that
to
additional.
Help upgrade for. We're going to need more water.
We don't want the burden on the existing people. We're trying to
put it on the new people.
Put it on the new developments.
You're going to come to the party late. You better bring a good plate.
Exactly.
So.
And then the other thing too is we don't know. Everything is a projection. So what can happen is because of interest rates, maybe the growth doesn't happen as quickly. Or maybe it still continues to grow and there's developments that are coming quicker than we expect. The other thing is inflation and costs. So what we're going to need to do is we will have this reviewed every 2 years.
2 years, that's what I was going to ask.
To make sure that we're funding appropriately.
Right. Well, I just want to, this is the final show. Are we at the end?
No.
We got one more?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A couple other things I just want to talk about what are those other capital projects for the future. We need to expand the water treatment plant itself.
And that's the one in Winnie?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the Natchez water plant.
Right.
We need to replace a 12-inch cement pipe. We need to relocate a water line under Highway 87. We need to relocate a water line on the rollover bridge. And then the other thing, eventually, the goal would be is to be able to install smart meters.
All the big cities are using those
Yes.
now to where they don't have to have meter readers.
Reduce the cost to go and read meters and gives you a more accurate reading. This is what's really important. I mean, we're not a corporation that's trying to
Make a profit.
to please, shareholders, on investors. We're trying to cover our expenses, make sure that we don't run into a situation where we're providing inadequate service to our existing customers, and that we're funding for the growth. So board members, every one of the board members are very mindful of the impact of the district debt and the operating cost have on a customer's final bill. Our goal is not to grow bills, because
Right.
again, we're property owners.
Right.
And I'm not for passing any additional cost to me on my bill, so
Right.
I wouldn't want to do it on anyone else. So every year the board reviews our upcoming debt payments, our essential capital costs to maintain our infrastructure, and the expanding operating costs to determine what the average bill is needed to keep the company moving in the right direction and to meet the needs. So we're committed to that. I mean, and
Right.
I challenge you, if there's an opportunity, if you're wondering what do we do and you want to find out, well, next time you see we post, well, we have an opening on the board, I welcome any of you to join the board.
That and the meetings are open. They're the second Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, at 6 or 6:30.
Second Tuesday every month at 6 o'clock.
At 6 o'clock at the water department building there. I've been to them. In fact, we're going to start back, and we're going to try and start bringing you updates after a board meeting too. This was a big kickoff. We've done 5 shows. We've started with the history of the Special Utilities District, actually when it was back the Water Corporation. And we've brought you up into what they're looking for future growth and what they're doing to make sure the peninsula can keep growing for tourism and economic growth. The last 2 years have really been a boom down here. We're starting to see it slow down a little bit, but there's still future development that are planned to come in, and we've all see it. This is going to help offset the cost and make sure the quality of the water you deserve, you're going to get now and down the road. So Mark, thanks for working with us on this series, the time that you put into it, the 5 shows you took time to do with us. And remember, these shows are on our social media pages. They're also on our YouTube channel, and they're on our Bolivar Live TV on Roku and Amazon Fire, where you can go see them anytime. So we're going to head on out. We'll be back next week with a new show starting on Monday at 7 a.m. Until next time, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and bye-bye.